Awesome. Well, Christian, thank you for coming on the podcast. Excited to hear more about your story, your journey. You are a diehard Cougar. And so I guess first off, let's start with current day. Spring ball is going to be wrapping up this coming weekend with the spring game. How are you feeling this spring? How's this spring camp been?
It's been good. I think I've seen a lot of improvement from a lot of guys. Even in myself, old guy, still getting better. New offense, new challenges. I think I've done as well as I could throughout spring so far. It's probably been the funnest spring that I've had football wise.
Well, yeah, what makes you say that?
Yeah.
Just like the technique that we've been doing. I don't know, just running off the ball and running through people. I love it.
Yeah, it's been a while. You haven't been able to run off the ball and go hit someone. And now under Freund and this new offense, Coach Lucas, your offensive line coach, it's time to take some names.
Yeah. And it reminds me a lot of of high school because we ran the triple option back in the day. So it was just running through people.
I guess what is Coach Rogers brought in terms of his character and maybe the things that the fans aren't seeing, but you the players are daily?
I think his personality. He's a pretty funny guy. Once you get around him, get to know him, just really passionate about what he does is what the feel that I've gotten. He's just very, very passionate.
And how's a lot of guys from South Dakota State have come over. There's been a blending of the two staffs, you could say. Walk us through the journey of getting to know the guys, getting these new schemes in place.
The guys, when they came over here, it was like we were all basically the same. Like it was the same vibe. It didn't really feel like there was nobody had like a big ego like coming into it. Like everybody was like, all right, we're a team now. Let's mesh together. Let's get it going, and like the plays and stuff, it all just kind of came along. It's like the third offense we've gone through. So I mean it's not change is nothing new. So it's been good.
Yeah, you say change is nothing new. You're third head coach, five offensive coordinators, or I think five offensive line coaches. We have two guys that are helping offensive line. Obviously, Coach Lucas is the head man, and Mike Ayupati, big time legend in the Palouse with Idaho. Yeah. Is now coming to Washington State. Start with Coach Lucas and what he's brought to the table for you guys as your new O-line coach.
Yeah, just crazy knowledgeable guy. Really knows what he's talking about. Like genuinely loves like the sport too. He played O-line. I'm pretty sure he played at the same place as Dickert. And so he knows what he's talking about with with like all that stuff. Definitely knows what he's talking about. Definitely a good guy. Really good guy. Really cares for our whole group as a whole. Sometimes you get people come in and they just care about like the older guys, but he really cares about building the younger guys up too.
And then the other end of the spectrum, Mike Ayupati. I mean, he was a Pro Bowler, an All-Pro offensive lineman in the NFL, first-round draft pick out of the University of Idaho, and really kind of getting his feet wet now coaching-wise. Do you want to get an Oklahoma drill with him because he still looks like he can play? And B, what's he brought to the table? And is he finally, you're starting to see maybe a little bit more out of him and breaking that shell, or did he come in with a shell broken already?
Like when he first came in, it was kind of like easing into it, but you can definitely tell he's definitely getting a little comfortable here, which is awesome because I mean he's just a well of knowledge. It's like anything you could think of. It's like, oh, I got a little tip for that. It's pretty awesome getting those little insider bits, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. Obviously, with having a guy of his stature come in, and especially also, he's also Samoan. We know the pipeline that we have at Washington State, the throwing Samoan with Jack Thompson. I mean, how big is it just to bring a guy like his stature into Washington State?
It's pretty awesome because, I mean, played in the league for 11 years. I grew up watching him when he was on the Seahawks. I was a pretty big fan of his. So it's really cool getting to like meet one of those guys, because you always hear about the stories of like NFL guys that end up being like just not very good people. But I mean, he's awesome. Like he's just a really like great guy.
I guess what are some of the initial takeaways from him specifically? A guy as tenured as he is it more so like technique, or is it mindset and just overall attitude while being on the field? Like, what does he bring to the table?
I mean, you pretty much covered it there. It's all of it.
Yeah.
Like it's like a lot of like the little technique things, but it's also like, getting your head in the right space for actually playing. Yeah, I'm so happy that we got him. It's really awesome.
And we are too.
Absolutely. And let's get into a bit of your story. You're quoted saying, "Let's ride." Like, yeah, you are a Coug. You're a fifth-year Coug. You have no thought of leaving. Like, you are a through and through Coug from Salt Lake City originally. Walk us through your journey of how you made your way to the Palouse and these past 5 years, what they've meant to you.
Yeah. So my older brother, Caden, he got offered to go play at Hawaii with Rolovich when he was over there. And then when him and his staff came over here, so when they were at Hawaii, it was like my sophomore year. I just played like sophomore football. But Coach Webb was like, we see a lot of good stuff in your film. I know it's not varsity, but we want to like offer you to come play here. So that was pretty cool. I remember when I got the phone call, I was sitting there, I was playing Fortnite in my room, and my brother comes up and he goes, "Hey, take this phone call." And I was like, it's late game. Like, what do I do? And he like showed me who it was. And I like immediately turned the Xbox off, grabbed the phone. Hello? So yeah, that was a pretty cool moment. But then when Rolo and Coach Webb came over to Washington State, they ended up offering me here. So I got that offer. I had like 2 or 3 Zoom calls because it was right in the middle of COVID. And what I saw was pretty intriguing. So I ended up committing right then and there. Took me like 3 days. A couple other schools had like reached out on Twitter, and I was like, nah, I'm going to go to Washington State. And then, I came out here freshman year. Crazy. That was 5 years ago already. Time really has flown by.
Time flies.
I mean, it's been nothing but just amazing out here. I mean, from the people to the coaches to being able to play in these crazy stadiums. It's really just been nothing but like just amazing. Like, I feel like that's the only way to describe it.
What does it mean to you to be a Coug?
To be a Coug, man, just like Brock always says, it's a lunch pail school. So, you gotta come in, you gotta work hard. Pretty much just do whatever you're asked and don't really ask questions. Just do it.
Yeah, blue collar mindset up at the Palouse. We'll leave the white collar mindset to the team out west.
Right.
But the one thing I wanted to bring up too is you just brought up Brock. You two are the mainstays. You are the two that are going to initiate this first year under Rogers and this staff, and really try to elevate the rest of this group going forward. I mean, you saw where you were 5 years ago, and now you look at yourself now. It's like, hey, you started at every single position last year except for center.
Yeah.
So, a little bit of a Batman utility belt there.
Right.
Was it almost like kind of a combined decision with you and Brock? Did you guys kind of talk to each other throughout this whole process of, maybe entering the portal? I know you guys didn't, but in terms of like, hey, what should we do? Or was it more of just like, hey, you each came to your own conclusion and here we are?
Yeah. So when we found out Dickert was leaving, it was a very confusing time, because we thought that guy was going to be here for a while, but stuff happens. And, me and Brock, we've had a lot of conversations about this, we've always been pretty close since we got here. I mean, we lived together for 3 years. That's genuinely one of my best friends out here. I still remember our freshman year during fall camp. It was me, him, Charles Waverly, and Ty Puma. We were standing outside an elevator, but it was a morning, like before a fall camp practice. And we were like, we just like created a pact that we were all going to stay here for all 4 years, or like as long as we could. And that moment has definitely like stuck in my mind, just because of like the bond that I've created with Brock. It's like I can't leave that guy. Like I just couldn't see myself doing that. I was at home after the bowl game, and Brock texted me. He goes, "Hey man, you staying?" I was like, "Yeah, probably." He goes, "All right, cool, let's do it." That was pretty much the entire conversation.
Well, on the flip side, the way you brought up, hey, we thought this guy was going to be here for a while. A lot of people did. A lot of people were drinking that Kool-Aid. But how many times did he try, and that staff at Wake Forest, try to get you? Did they call you? Did they try to get you on a visit? I mean, were they after you?
Not really. No. I was kind of surprised by that, but I don't care.
Love it.
I'd rather be here either way. Even if they did offer me, I don't think I would have went. I'd rather be here.
So then the transition happens. The new coaching staff comes in. What's your initial takeaway? Those first meetings with the team, like, hey, this is what we're doing moving forward. What were those feelings? We've heard great things on the initial message that was sent to you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it felt very similar to what we were used to, but there was just something about it that just felt a little bit more genuine. I think that was probably a good way to put it. I think just very, very genuine. Like, and they have a culture of winning. When they were at South Dakota State, I mean, they won a national championship. Not a lot of people get to say that.
Back to back.
Right. Yeah. Forgot about that. So I mean, it's hard not to believe what a guy is saying when he has the resume to back it up. So I think it was easy to believe what he was saying.
Tabling off to Brock again. He's moving to center. You've been accustomed in playing in different positions. Now that's the only position you haven't played. Right. But what have you seen from Brock with the move so far in fall camp, and maybe what's he said to you about it?
Well, I mean, Brock's been repping center since we got here, so I mean, it's really nothing new to him. He played it last year, and I definitely thought that he was going to play center this year. Coming into it before we knew what was going on, so it's really nothing new. I'd say.
I have a bit of a different question. So you've blocked for Cam Ward, for John Mateer, now for Zebby. I mean, what's it like to try to block a dual threat guy? And then what's it been so far this spring? I mean, Zebby still has some wheels. He's got the ability, but what's the difference in blocking seam technique, kind of mindset and all that stuff?
It's weird because, playing for Cam, playing for John, it was very similar play styles. So you kind of block like the same way. And so I think I've kind of just kept it all the same. Really nothing changing. It's just blocking.
Yeah.
Simply put.
I guess a different question, this new offense that we're expecting this next season, what are some of the differences that you've seen in the overall scheme from the air raid, you could say, style to now the more balanced, much more of a rushing attack?
Yeah. A lot of running. A lot of running the ball, which I love. I love running the ball. I haven't been great at run blocking, but I mean, I'm feeling pretty confident coming into this year.
In terms of the younger guys on that line, who are some of the names right now that are impressing you in spring ball, but not just impressing you in spring ball where you're like, okay, this guy's probably going to be on the line with me this year, or this guy's going to get significant playing time?
Yeah, I mean, the three guys that are the newbies on the O-line, Tripp, Johnny, and Noah, they've all been doing an amazing job. filling into the roles that they've fallen into. And some of the younger guys that have been doing pretty good are X or Xavier Thorpe. He's been doing pretty good. He's been doing some good stuff. I'm probably forgetting some people, but that's all right. they'll get their time. I'm really excited to see what we can do.
And talking about a former Coug, a guy that's going to be drafted here soon in the NFL draft, Esapole. What did he bring to the staff? What was it like to grow up with, seeing him play out and him helping coach you guys also?
Yeah, I've always loved Essa. We played next to each other 2 years ago, a little bit last year. Really good guy. He's always around the building, always just hanging out. I'm really excited to see him go succeed in the NFL because I know he's going to.
Who's the better basketball player?
I mean, he probably has me, honestly. I haven't picked up the ball in a while.
You got quite a few votes on that March Madness starting five, though. Yeah. I mean, you had to be feeling pretty good about that.
I know. I'm an athlete, so I'll get it when I can. Yeah.
Is Jamori Colson really that nice? A lot of people are saying
played with Maury. I guess he is. I heard that Max Woods is the answer in basketball. He's the truth. So maybe we'll have to see that someday.
Someday, maybe after the season. Okay.
Right.
Let's get there first.
Right. Yeah.
Last thing I got. What are you most looking forward to this final season, this 2025 season?
Just winning some games. I'm excited to go out there and just win, go and compete, go out there, play with my brothers one last time. There's a reason I stayed here, and I'm excited to see it through.
My last thing, and I apologize if I don't have this correct, but are you 2-2 against UW right now in your career?
I am. Yep.
Okay. So
I haven't played in that one my freshman year. I got like 2 or 3 plays at like the very last drive.
We remember it.
But you know what? We did it.
it's in your game notes, man. Well, that's big time. I mean, you get to finish it off this year on the Palouse. Is there a better script to this season against UW, getting them at home, one last Apple Cup and a chance to go out where maybe not a lot of Cougs are over 500 over a 5-year stretch against that team out west?
Yeah. Let's just go blow them out.
Love it.
That's what you can pray for, right?
Love it.
I think we got a solid team on our hands this year, though, so I'm excited.
Christian, really appreciate you taking time out of your day. Looking forward to seeing how this 5th and final year on the Palouse plays out for you and the team and Coach Rogers. And we'll see you at the spring ball game. All right. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you having me.
You got it. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.